Margin.
Councilman DeFlippo.
Here.
Councilman Spurlock.
Here.
Councilman Smolder.
Here.
Councilwoman Marker.
Here.
Councilman Strider.
Here.
Councilman Lilly.
Here.
Councilman Reimer.
Here.
Councilwoman Walker.
Here.
Mayor Mullins.
Here. Thank you, Marge. Y'all please stand. Councilman Roberts will lead us in a word of prayer. Councilman.
Heavenly Father, we thank you for this time together here this evening. We thank you for each and every one that's here. We ask a special thanks, dear God, for all the workers that work this week, dear God, to keep the city safe. We're thankful for each one of them, and thank you for their lives. Be with us tonight in our meeting, if everything is said and done. These things we ask in your name, and amen.
Thank you, Councilman. Please remain standing. Pledge allegiance. Margie.
I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Margie. Need a motion to approve the minutes of the previous meeting, please. Is there a second? Second. Any discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. City's monthly financial statement, Councilman.
Done this evening, sir.
Thank you, sir. Petitions, communications, and public hearings. The first item we need to take care of, and we apologize for the agenda being out. Obviously, we didn't have any power to the last minute, so we did the best we could to get it to everybody. But we do have to open up the floor for a public hearing for the budget, the proposed budget for the next fiscal year. So we will open the floor for a public hearing, which was advertised. So if there's anybody in the audience who would like to make a comment on the budget proposed for the next fiscal year for the city, please feel free to raise your hand. I'll recognize you. Anybody? Okay, thank you all very much. We'll close the public hearing. That's it for that, right, Rick?
Yes.
Okay. Excuse me. So petitions, communications, public hearings, run at item A. We're going to remove and take to the next council meeting. Margie, those kids need to, they'll be back next time. So item B will be to recognize Kate White, the Kanawha County Board of Education. Ms. White, you're here. Come on up to the podium and welcome.
Thank you. I
Welcome.
appreciate it. I know it's been a busy, challenging week, I'm sure, for everybody, so I'm glad you're here. You've got power. Just wanted to introduce myself. My name is Kate White. I was appointed to the Kanawha County Board of Education the end of January. Feels like a little bit longer already. And I'm on the ballot this May for the position as well. I'm a West Virginian, born and raised, went to public school here in West Virginia. My husband Ryan, who some folks might know, have lived in the Kanawha Valley for a long time now. We've got 3 kids. Got 1 in middle school and 2 in elementary school. Very involved in the community and with children. Involved at my kids' school, helping to renovate their playground and a community playground. Coach youth soccer, done read aloud. I'm an attorney. In my work as an attorney, I work with programs that help families, work with a lot of grandparents that are raising grandkids, trying to get them the help they need so that kids can go to school, have access to the things they need in school. So those are some of the big reasons I'm running is I care about kids. I have kids. I'm around a lot of kids. And I know, just some of the challenges that they're facing. I want to make sure that KCS is doing what we can to meet the needs of our kids with disabilities, making sure we're giving really good career and technical opportunities to students so that they see that pathway. We've got really good things happening at Carver and Ben Franklin, and just want to grow that and make sure we're also offering that in the high schools and even middle schools, really. I care about teachers. I know we have a lot of teachers that live in South Charleston. I know at my kids' school a lot live here. We've got to keep the good ones that we have. We've got to keep making the pay competitive, take off the burdens that keep getting put on them. And so those are some of the things I want to make sure that our board is doing. And then I think something dear to the heart of folks in this room is our facilities. I know that we've got some aging facilities, and I know some of the schools in South Charleston really need work. And there's been progress, with roofing and HVAC, but there needs to be more. And so I think that's something that the board just cannot lose sight of. And appreciate all that the city of South Charleston, the council and the mayor does to support our schools here in South Charleston, and definitely, am open and willing to talk about what we can do moving forward on our facilities. So, just wanted to make sure you knew who I was, what I stood for. While I'm on the board now, please feel free to reach out if you have questions or concerns or just want to talk, and hope that I would have the ability to work with you.
Well, we appreciate you coming down. I think, anytime the candidates come down and speak to us, we love that. That's great. It's nice to know you. You guys, anybody have any questions? Anybody have any questions for Ms. White? Anybody?
I'm just glad to hear she knows we have a really old school here.
Yeah, we do that.
Nobody else seems to
You help us
understand.
replace our middle school.
Middle
We're in good shape. Yeah.
Now that my son's in middle school and I've been to all of them, he plays basketball. I've been to the Oaks gym because,
That's fine.
the middle
We have to sit on each other's lap down there now.
We appreciate you all deeding that over to us, and then the building fell apart once we got it. The brick fell off, but that's okay.
One
We
week
will-
later, Freddie.
One week later, the bricks fell off, but that's okay. Yeah. We'll fix
Before
it.
my time.
That's right, it's before you retire, that's Ryan's fault.
That's fine.
That's right.
I still blame him for
That's
things. It's
right.
fine. So,
Well,
yeah.
again, thank you for coming, I appreciate it. Appreciate you taking the time to come and see us. Again, anybody have, one more time, any questions? Nobody? Okay, thanks so much.
Reach out. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Item C, Rusty Webb also contacted me. He wasn't feeling well, so we're going to move him also to the next council meeting. And item D, we have the Honorable Judge Jennifer Bailey here with us today. And Judge Bailey, thanks for coming as well. I've heard a lot of great things about you, and thanks for coming to see us.
Well, thank you, and it's really exciting, actually, just to kind of be out and about. I'm not real excited about having a contested race, but it's been nice to be out in the community. Sometimes we're just there in the judicial building and don't get out in the community, and I've had the opportunity to see now you all at work, and earlier I was called to almost summoned before the county commission meeting. I didn't really plan to be there, but I'm just saying we're so fortunate, and I just want to say kudos to you, Mayor, the council, and your staff, and all of you who actually put so much of your heart and soul into the public and are true public servants. I know you don't just come to council meetings, you're on call constantly responding to the demands and needs of your constituents. I grew up in Bell, where my father was a large part of city council, and I know it was never over. The meeting was just the formality. The rest of the week was a lot of giving to the community, and that's why Chief Reinhardt and I grew up in a really wonderful, idyllic town. And I well remember the Reinhardts at the Mount Juliet Methodist Church. I don't know how our mothers got us together, dressed up every Sunday, but we did that. And you all have certainly given of your time and efforts to help make this community in the greater Canal Valley a place where people want to live and raise their children and conduct their business. I just saw another ribbon cutting in the newspaper. I still get the hard copy of the paper. I'm not sure how many scissors Mayor Mullins has, but I think it's like more than one a week. It's really exciting to see because, you know, I want to stay in West Virginia. I have a daughter who's chosen to stay in West Virginia. We've lost too many folks, and communities like yours is where people want to live and do business and even retire too. So thank you for that. Thank you for your public service. And also want to thank you for the opportunity that I've had to be a public servant here in Kanawha County for nearly 22 years in May. I've been able to serve as a Kanawha County Circuit Judge, and there are a lot of not so great days in that job either, and then there are some really great times like helping children find their forever homes. We now have a lot of adoptions. It used to be a sacred secret ceremony, and now it's almost like I feel like I could preach to a courtroom full of people there to celebrate the permanent opportunity for a child and a family. And those are just really, really fun days, and we actually applaud and clap, and the courtroom turns into a very different environment than your usual courtroom experience. I've also spent a lot of my time sentencing some really dangerous people to the maximum penalties that I can, and I think anyone who's been there during some of my sentences have heard me tell people that if I could lock you up longer, I would, because you don't belong among us. So I take a lot of pride in my sentencing and consideration of criminal cases. I also, of course, have reached out and worked with people who are in addiction, who find themselves in the court system, who are nonviolent, but driven there because of the disease of addiction. And I was one of the first 3 judges in our state to start our drug court system. We had to kind of beg for federal money, speak with the county commission, speak with the community of Charleston, where we want to put a day report center. The police department, the sheriff works with us now. And the prosecutors and just the whole leadership of the community to get that started. And people were a little concerned about what we were doing, but here we are. Since 2009, we've graduated somewhere over 150 some, I believe. And we've had 16 drug-free babies. Just had our 16th drug-free baby about a week ago. And if you know the number of babies that are born right now going into the neonat unit, having, one more drug-free, and when we have those mothers, I have a staff member of our drug force that takes them to every one of their appointments, makes certain, we drug test them frequently, we make sure they have a safe home, we have them baby showers, and we work with, sometimes they're in a treatment facility, but we work very closely to try to get them off to a good start and give them the stability and security, and then ultimately some housing opportunities and so forth that they need to get off to a good start with that child. Often they've already lost custody of a couple of children. So that's been one of my passions, and something I really, I get a lot of actually gratitude, just self-gratitude from being able to do that, and I work with a great team. I also take pride in the fact that if you're an individual in my courtroom and you're an hourly wage person, or if you're someone who's unemployed, or if you're the CEO of a corporation, if you walk into my courtroom, I treat everyone fairly, impartially, and with integrity and dignity. And I believe that's what everyone deserves when they walk into a courtroom. It doesn't matter what political party they're with. In fact, the judicial races since 2015 have been nonpartisan. I was so happy to have been a part of seeing that happen in our state legislature. I've been to national meetings where people ask you how are your judges chosen. You have to tell them partisan politics, partisan elections, and that was always really an embarrassment. So I was very happy that the legislature took that action, and so we run in the primary race. Our races are concluded in May, and they're nonpartisan. So there are 7 circuit judges in our state, in our circuit. And then we have the 8th seat. I think you've heard Richard Lindsay speak. He's running for that 8th vacant seat. And he has, there's another candidate running for that seat. Of the 7 existing circuit judges, I'm the only one running with opposition. So I've survived 3 other elections. I actually had the opportunity not to be opposed, but I am opposed now, and so I am seeking support. And I wish to maintain my seat and continue with my hard work, and I'm happy to answer any questions. I want to say a little bit about my experience before I became a judge. I was in a general law practice. I tried cases not just in Kanawha County, but had the opportunity to be in several other circuits and jury trials. I actually was on the frequent appointment list for criminal cases because when I graduated law school, we didn't have the public defender services that we do now. Thank goodness we have that. So I had the opportunity to also defend criminals and see that side of things, and to work with prosecutors to maybe work out solutions. I have been in cases before the state Supreme Court. I've argued appeals before that court. I've argued before the United States District Court here in southern West Virginia. I had several cases there as a lawyer. I've been before the 4th Circuit Court of Appeals arguing cases. That is the circuit just below the U.S. Supreme Court. And I'm admitted to practice before the bar of the U.S. Supreme Court, where I appeared and took that oath. And so I had a wealth of experience. I worked 11 sessions for the House of Delegates when I practiced law, so the 60-day sessions. I worked 11 sessions there. I worked for the State Senate a session, and then I became the first full-time attorney for the West Virginia State Senate. I was in that job when I was first appointed to become a judge. So I've had a very broad experience. We have a very broad jurisdiction. I'm presently in charge of the petit jury and the grand jury. We rotate that in our circuit. So every person that asks to be excused from jury duty, and I'll tell you, thousands do. Well, not thousands, but really hundreds. Stocks about this high, but I go through them all personally. I think that's what the people put us there for, and I read the problems that people have, taking care of their elderly parents, trying to work 2 jobs, illnesses they're facing, just you name it, and I've read a lot of things that a lot of people are suffering and the reasons they can't serve. But we have a lot of great people who do serve, and we just had a grand jury who finished their service, and having people understand what we do in our building every day is really important, and so I do encourage people to serve as jurors, or either petit or grand, and other than that, and exercising your right to vote, I think those are 2 of our greatest constitutional rights. I'm here to, you tell lawyers to start talking, and we do. I'm sure we would talk for a long time. But I'm also pleased to answer any questions. I want to just briefly thank again my friend, the chief here, for delivering my first endorsement to me of my campaign. I do carry it with me. I keep it by my phone every day when I'm making these phone calls about my election, which I have to do when I'm at home, of course, and not in the court building. But I do have the great letter of endorsement from the South Charleston Firefighters Association, which the chief delivered to me as the president emeritus at my first kickoff. So thank you for that. And I also just want to say there's a couple of my DuPont Patriots here. I didn't realize that Councilmember Spurlock is a DuPont as well, of course, Chief Reinhardt. So
We'll take them from anywhere.
That's awesome.
We did play the South Charleston and the Eagles, but not during busy years. Anyway, but thank you all for the opportunity to be here, and I also appreciate Councilmember Walker helping me to be able to be before you. So thank you all.
Sure. Anybody have any questions? Anybody?
Well,
Judge Bailey, thanks for coming. We really appreciate you taking the time to come
Well,
see us.
thank you for
Thank you so
taking
much.
the time to hear me.
Sure.
As I said, I think when a lawyer walks in with a file folder and a legal pad, you're a little nervous.
Thank you for coming. Thank you. Thank you, Judge.
Oh, my umbrella. I'm
Okay.
umbrella.
Okay, item E, if you'd read the resolution, please, Margie.
A resolution authorizing city officials to take any and all actions necessary to accept a grant from the Western Charles Water Development Authority for the City of South Charleston Park Place development and to further administer the grant as required by the grant agreement.
This was big news for us, so we have a motion to approve this resolution.
So moved.
Is there a second? Second. Any discussion? Rick, you have any comments on this, or Hannah? I know you are happy you got it.
Yeah, I mean, we asked for 5 million and we got 5.
We got 5 million, so,
Good response.
and it much needed to finish out the infrastructure, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. All right, so we have a motion, second to approve. Any further discussion on this? All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. No bids, right?
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry, there is bids, I'm sorry. I don't have that in front of me anymore, tonight, so, go ahead.
All right, we got 4 this evening, sir.
I'm looking at my
First one
screen.
is on the roof repair for the library. The Finance Committee of the South Charleston City Council's met to consider the following bid, which was obtained in accordance with the charter and ordinances of the City of South Charleston.
I need to get rid of
Under the
this.
provisions of an emergency repair and single source provider, and after careful consideration, it is the recommendation of the Finance Committee to award the following. Tri-State Roofing replace portion of roof destroyed by windstorm 4/2/24 for $172,459.00. All items are within the reasonable estimate for these purchases and will be paid for from insurance proceeds. This is a motion.
Is there a second? Second. Any discussion? Roll call vote, please, Margie.
Councilman DeFilippo.
Yes.
Councilman Spurlock.
Yes.
Councilman Smolder.
Yes.
Councilman Marker.
Yes.
Councilman Strider. Councilman Lilly.
Yes.
Councilman Reimer.
Yes.
Councilwoman Walker.
Yes.
Mayor Mullins.
Yes.
That is
Thank
unanimous
you,
vote.
Margie. Thank you.
All right, we have a library water damage cleanup. The Finance Committee of the South Charleston City Council has met and considered the following bid, which was obtained in accordance with the charter and ordinances of the City of South Charleston under the provisions of an emergency repair and single source provider. And after careful consideration, it is the recommendation of the Finance Committee to award the following. ServPro Restoration Services water damage from windstorm 4/2/24 up to $150,000.00. All items within the reasonable estimated amounts for these purchases and will be paid for from insurance proceeds. This is a motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Spurlock. Any discussion on this one? Roll call vote, please.
Councilman DeFilippo. Yes. Councilman Spurlock.
Yes.
Councilman Smolder.
Yes.
Councilwoman Marker.
Yes.
Councilman Strider.
Yes.
Councilman Lilly.
Yes.
Councilman Reimer.
Yes.
Councilwoman Walker.
Yes.
Mayor Mullins.
Yes.
A unanimous decision.
One more day.
2 more. This
Oh,
is
2 more.
exercise equipment for the South Charleston Community Center. The Finance Committee of the South Charleston City Council has met and considered the following bid, which was obtained as a sole source supplier in accordance with the provisions of the South Charleston Charter and ordinances, and after careful consideration, it is the recommendation of the Finance Committee to award the following bid. To Arsenal Strength, various exercise equipment for $18,048.33. All items within the budget amounts for these purchases and will be paid for from the fiscal year 2024 funds and will be paid from community center line items. This is a motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Spurlock. Any discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Councilman DeFilippo.
Yes.
Councilman Spurlock.
Yes.
Councilman Smolder.
Yes.
Councilwoman Marker.
Yes.
Councilman Strider. I'm sorry. Councilman Strider.
Sorry, I drowned him out, didn't I?
Councilman Lilly.
Yes.
Councilman Reimer.
Yes.
Councilwoman Marker.
Yes.
And Mayor Mullins.
Yes.
As unanimous vote.
One more. HVAC repairs for the ice arena. The Finance Committee of the South Charleston City Council was met and considered the following bid, which was obtained via quotes from HVAC contractors in accordance with the City of South Charleston Charter and ordinances. And after careful consideration, it is the recommendation of the Finance Committee to award the following bid. To Simcoe, 15-ton rooftop unit for the ice arena, $29,945.00. All items within the budgeted amounts for these purchases will be paid for fiscal year 2024 budgeted ice arena building repairs general fund line items. This is a motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Spurlock. Any discussion on this one?
That was me.
I'm sorry, is that you, Wes? I'm sorry. Councilman Smolder. Tom, you were on a roll. I just gave it to you. You were on a roll down there.
Breaking it
Any
up.
discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Councilman DeFilippo.
Yes.
Councilman Spurlock.
Yes.
Councilman Smolder.
Yes.
Councilwoman Marker.
Yes.
Councilman Strider.
Yes.
Councilman Lilly.
Yes.
Councilman Reimer.
Yes.
Councilwoman Walker.
Yes.
Mayor Mullins.
Yes.
Those are unanimous decisions.
That's all.
Is that it? Okay, huh? I can't help it. Hannah. Thought I got rid of it. Anyway, okay, thank you, Dave. Now we're to the report of department heads. Anybody got anything? I mean, we obviously been pretty busy, got on storm mode. I think I said we're getting into more into detail, but I think we pretty much covered most of it. You guys got anything to add as far as
Brent.
things that are going on out there that council members may need to be made aware of, or something I may have missed?
We've got the Little League Baseball opening day.
Yeah, opening day Saturday.
We got a martial arts event the following Saturday at the rec center.
Okay.
Where's the Long John's opening day?
Council members, have we missed anything in your awards that needs our attention? Anybody know anything?
You guys have been crushing it. I cannot
And-
believe how fast they cleared those trees.
I have nothing but high praise for what the staff's done. I mean, they got after it. I mean, I think the roads were open the same day, pretty much that night.
Oh, yeah, that evening.
And then we had pretty much the city completely cleared as best we could by the next day. And the thing that happened at the library, I mean, they're back, the roof will be on, the place is being cleaned up. I think it's still gonna be about 2 weeks before it opens up, but that's pretty quick
Yeah,
turnaround, so.
That's still amazing.
Yeah, you guys did, I mean, I can't say enough. And I was watching some of the news, of course, I was one thing I'll tell you is that we've already met as a staff to kind of evaluate everything and make sure we dotted our i's and crossed our t's. But one thing you always come up with is what happened here that we need to improve on. So the one thing that did stand out to me that we got to figure out is that when the power's out, cell service is questionable. We got to figure out, I don't know if I want to use the word command center or what, but we need an area of the city, whether it be my office or across the street or wherever, that's as bulletproof as we can make it to be able to have service. And my cell phone went out, so I couldn't really communicate with anybody for a while. And so we got to figure that out. We got to try to make ourselves accessible as we can. Nothing's completely bulletproof, but we do have a plan. City Hall does not have a generator backup, so we need to do that. That was part of the problem that I had. Now, the police department, fire department, things were all had backup. Not all fire stations, but some. And so, and we're
All of
working
our
on.
fire stations
We'll
will
have
have it by probably July.
So we'll get together as a staff and we'll come back with a plan with you all. But we need to be able to have something. I would think City Hall, be it the type of building that it is, would be suitable for that. As far as we're not going to blow down. I don't think. If we do, then we're in real big trouble if they blow this building down. But we need to have something that, as I said, as bulletproof as we can get it. Huh?
It's just a roof on your side.
Yeah, just a roof on my side. Yeah. So other than that, though, I think you guys, I think you all were amazing. I think you just did a great job.
We had a lot of calls. Besides the power lines down, we still had medical calls, car wrecks. I mean, it was pretty bad, but we never missed a call. We handled everything.
And we were prepared to use the community center for a facility if we needed it for people. We just never got the request.
Yeah, we were really lucky.
We did let CW and the county emergency system know that if they needed the community center to be used as a facility for the general public to use, that we would do that, to open it for that. We just never got that request.
Right.
We told the employees today if somebody came and needed a place to
Shower or
get,
whatever,
let them in for
we
free.
would let them do that.
Yeah,
So,
the third councilman from your ward came up with that idea on social media, Brandon.
My neighbor.
Third council.
mine were Mike and Brand right here. And Mike's not here tonight.
Yeah, he's on vacation.
Let's
Oh, is
talk about it then.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, anybody else got anything? Yes, sir.
Has the city hired somebody to replace Stan yet, or do we have anything in the works on that?
No, well, yes and no, but we have not hired anybody yet, but that doesn't mean we can't address those issues if we have them.
Okay.
We can pile on Gerald.
Is the city brings
Gerald and Steve and those guys can handle anything in the meantime, so if you have something, don't hesitate to call us.
Yeah, do you want us to just go to you directly? Or?
Yeah, just go to Gerald directly or call my office or whatever, we'll take care of it. We've got some different ideas on how to do this, so we'll see.
But Margie asked a question about.
I'm sorry.
Spring cleanup. We do have it scheduled. It was supposed to be the last weekend in May and the first weekend in June, but we found out that Memorial Day or Labor Day, whichever that is. Memorial Day is on the weekend.
He's been up a while.
Scheduled.
He's a little delirious.
And so we're gonna probably move it to the first week in June and the second week in June.
Okay,
But we'll let you know as soon as we get the paperwork figured out.
okay.
We wanted to do it earlier, but the county's having therefore this month.
Have you seen this, where the county posted that Charleston landfill free day, the second Wednesday of every month? That was something that Kanawha County had posted on their
Okay,
Facebook.
that's probably for everybody, this stuff that got damaged by the storm.
And also,
That's good.
anybody that needs to throw away food or stuff, we have a dumpster out at the garage that we're just letting you come, no matter where you live, and put your food and stuff in.
Is somebody gonna put that like on Facebook? Because I noticed that Charleston
I'll
had that
get-
on the news.
I'll get that
They
one out.
have two
I lost all my fridge.
two locations where you can take spoiled food.
Okay, yeah, we'll get it out, we'll get it out there. Get
But it's
that.
up at the upper end, but we do have the two dumpsters
Okay.
there.
Anything pops up that we missed, just give us a shout, we'll get up there and get it taken care of. Before we adjourn, I want to remind everybody, it's the third Tuesday, right?
Third
The
Tuesday.
16th at noon, we have to adopt the budget, and so, if, we'll have Zoom available for those of you who can't come in from work, but it takes like 2 minutes to do it. Not a big deal, but we gotta do it at noon on the 16th, correct? 16th?
Correct.
Okay,
And the auditor's offices came back there, everything was fine, right?
yeah.
Yeah, we haven't gotten anything saying that we had issues with our budget.
Okay. Okay,
Mayor,
yes, sir.
I'd like to give a shout out to Calvin up to Little Creek and
Okay.
his staff for last Sunday. I don't know if anybody went up there for lunch, but it was awesome.
For Easter.
It was a nice family out of town, and I went up by myself, and I'm telling you, it was packed, and the food was great. I'd
Good.
like to let him know that.
I'll pass that
We
along.
normally don't hear all about Calvin and the group up there, but I want to make sure because they did a great job.
Okay.
Everything was really
I appreciate that, I'll pass that along to him.
Appreciate
You know
Yes,
what,
ma'am.
Mayor, we need to remember Kim Winfrey.
Yeah, we
Oh,
do. Yeah, we
yeah.
do.
Saw that,
He
yeah.
just
Yeah.
passed, and
He
he
did.
really did a lot of stuff.
Yeah, he did. He served on some committees for us
Yes, he
and,
did.
and
A
yeah.
lot of them,
Yeah,
so
so,
Man.
bless
yeah,
his heart.
sure was.
Good-
God love
good
him.
man.
I didn't realize he was 81.
I didn't either.
And I didn't realize he was a pastor.
I didn't either. I mean, I kept reading that obituary and I kept thinking, and he really did that.
He's
Oh,
really
he
a cool
did.
guy.
Yeah, he was good. Good
He
fellow.
had several different
Nicest guy you ever want to
occupations
meet.
before he had his last one.
Yeah.
He was a good
I just
man.
thought he worked at Marshall Graduate School.
I did too. I did too.
So-
And he retired, I guess, for his third, fourth retirement
Yeah.
from graduate
Yeah,
school. So.
yeah, so. Okay, anything else? Motion adjourned?
So moved.
All in favor? Adjourned. Thank you all.